Oh boy. Oh boy. We are definitely not sure how far we're going to get into this, but we might only be stuck on this chapter alone. Hey there, everyone, and welcome to another Dice Scum Live. Name's Adam, and tonight we're going to try to get our way through character creation for the hit that is World of Synnibarr.
Yes, I'm Imsit, and after finally getting through 19 pages last time, we're gonna go through at least character creation. And
Yeah,
hopefully make a character.
yeah, we're not promising making it past this chapter because, well,
I will say this, at least Trench Crusade is a better designed game than this.
Well,
As we
yeah, it
were
uses cribbed Mordheim rules because they had the guy who made the Mordheim game basically make a 2.0 of it. I'm sorry.
exactly.
I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. I just after
I
they
know you
fucked
have
the
I
backers.
know you have problems with it, but it's an interesting system. I'm excited to see it develop.
Just get bolt action kit and fucking kit bash.
I did that. Here's the problem though. There's no Jewish army that I can get from Bolt Action.
That just
And
means
I
you're not
want to
trying hard enough, buddy.
the only thing that Warlord Games sells is for the historical, like Bronze Age stuff. And while admittedly they do have a guy with a standard holding a Torah, I want more.
More, more.
I want to see what crazy ideas that they could make for, I guess, a mix of
They're not
19th
going to.
century medieval Jews.
I don't think they're going to. They're not going to think it through. Speaking of which, if you want crazy, let's get into this. Um, this is going to be fantastic because I did a read through and it's very clear that the main inspiration that Raven was using was Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, as well as, oh god, he might have been inspired from RuneQuest. It's going to be a trash fire.
As last we left you, uh, Earth was Earth was put inside of a spaceship built
Mars
out of
was turned
Mars
into a ship. The Earth was put
at,
into it.
by a god, and then was cast off into space because other gods were fucking around and were causing planets suns to
Billions
explode.
upon billions of people died, but they also repopulated instantly. Don't worry.
Yes, aliens have invaded. There's wizards. There's mutants, and now we get to see what we can make out of this character.
So, the world of Synnibarr has a number of ways to create characters, giving you free reign for your imagination and letting you break class stereotypes. This is going to be a problem that you will see very shortly. The first part of this chapter describes the methods of character generation and the different scores and statistics that apply to the game. You will need a copy of the character sheet or a blank piece of paper and a set of special gaming dice, which that's the reason we were a bit late. Imp was trying to find his collection of D6s because you need those too.
Oh, did I play Warhammer? There's D6s out the wazoo here.
He was looking for the special ones. So the scores are determined by rolling dice and are written down on a character, blah, blah, blah. But here's
Yeah.
table number 1, character creation outlined. It's a simple 22-step process. 22 steps. So let's go through it bit by bit. And this is why I think we might actually be stuck on this, just this. It's going to be long.
So, first thing first, generate basic initial scores. How do we do that? Well, we have 6 basic scores, and we roll a d20 7 times.
Yeah, we
First
use a
one,
d20, not 3d6, d20.
a 2.
Reroll as necessary until you have 7 scores that are greater than or equal to 8. So we have a 2. Write this down.
A 1.
Okay, we might need to reroll this character already.
A 16.
Okay.
A 4.
Yeah, we're going to need to reroll this fucking character. This is not playable.
A 20.
All right.
A 10.
This is some lopsided shit, man.
And a 9.
Okay, so I'm going to already preemptively ask you to reroll that shit because...
Well, no, it says next drop the 2 of the lowest of the 7 scores and replace them by rolling 1 new score.
Okay. This is method 1, by the way.
14.
Okay, we
So I
have
guess
something viable. What's
I
our
guess
stat
both
line?
of them are 14 then?
So you get to keep the
Though,
14. No, you get rid of the two lowest. That means you get rid of the 2 and the 4.
no, the 2 and the 1.
2 and a 1. Get rid of that shit.
All right. Now,
What's our array line?
14, 16, 4, 20, 10, 9.
You didn't get a 20?
I got a 20,
Okay.
which we need to note this. If I roll 5 natural 20s, you qualify for being an immortal being.
Yeah, that can happen. You legitimately can just become a god. It just happens. Congratulations, you're a deity now. Just from character creation.
So, all right. Next up, we choose the type of character. Now, the
So,
traditional method is to be random.
no. What you do is you need specific characteristic scores. That's why I was asking.
And I got to reroll. I rolled a 6 for Chameleon Drake.
You can't be. Your stat scores are too bad. Reroll.
19.
You do have a 20, so you can be a wereman. So, ironically, the thumbnail cover of the were lion would work. And if you're
All right.
wondering
Where?
why I had that generated, specifically because the first edition of Synnibarr has an image of a Valkyrie lady with a sword surrounded by the fallen foes of tiger guys dressed like Buck Rogers with pauldrons. I would have shown that instead, but the image quality for those are for ants. There's not very good renders of that cover.
Let's see. I could have also decided to pick just basic races, non-classed adventures, or variant races.
So yes, if you wanted to, you could have just picked. I don't know why the traditional method literally involves rolling for this. This is actually kind of annoying.
I mean, we could have been a mutant vampire, a talking raccoon, a Batman, not a Batman.
Oh yeah, Batman is a class, by the way.
No, Batmen,
Yeah, the
not a
Horde of Batman.
Batman. Now, determine skill points.
Well, before then, from NDR, your group can't escape the autism. No, we can't. It's unfortunate. And Angel Arroyo is asking, are we going to make a Get a Fenris? We don't know yet. We'll see. So this is method 1. Method 2 includes the basic races. Then there's non-class adventures, which, yeah, this entire thing is just ridiculous. There's 4 different ways you can do this. So here's all the
So,
variant races that require skill points, which, do they explain how you get skill points? Total your
if
starting
you
skill points, which is later in the book. So this is pointless, and I would put this at the end. I'm going to be frank. If you're going to use systems that are mentioned later, you should probably put this all at the end in the form of errata or at the end.
uh,
So what you need to do is you need to know that, and then you have to have sufficient skill points left over to qualify. So you could just spend money, like you do a transaction, to become a Lizoid mutant or a
determine a
Scarrock.
I think this was just determining ability scores for your methods. I don't think we're on.
No, you needed minimum characteristic scores to be. I believe we got the Wereman. We needed a
Yes.
stat in 18 to get that. By the way, they don't clarify where that stat should be. It's just you need that stat. Oh boy. So, determining skill points. The traditional classes, method 1, and basic races, method 2. Ignore the totaling of initial skill points. All guild-trained characters are taught a great many skills during their schooling. Aquarians, archers, Cavili drakes, dwarves, giants, gnomes, mutants, shadow masters, shadow warriors, shamans, and winged warriors receive only 10 skill points to begin with. This includes other races that train to be one of these classes. Because yes, some of the classes are also races. I'm not kidding. You
So,
can be a dwarf whose class is dwarf.
looking at this, I need a minimum of 21 in agility. Hence why it's a +3 and I needed the 18. So
Ah.
I guess I'll put my 20 in agility to get 23.
Okay.
Um,
You also get plus 10 to 40 strength, which, how do they explain how this works?
I guess roll a d4.
They don't
I get.
Oh, oh. Oh yeah, you're right. Roll a d4
I got a 2. I'm gonna put the 16 there, so I get
plus 20.
36.
Yep. You have 36 strength.
I'll do 14 for my con.
So what is the
10
data on
for
what
my
is the date of
dex.
publishing for this? Squirrel Killer asks. Let's look while you figure this out.
I decided I have the bimbo virus, so my intel, not my intelligence, my intel is 4.
Ah,
My
dang
wisdom
it.
is 9.
Dang it, they don't explain it, so I don't know. I'm going to assume it's the early 90s. This scan doesn't have a list of its publishing date, so I'm assuming it's in the early 90s.
Right,
Oh,
so
oh,
that's my.
oh, it's 1993. I remember now.
Yeah, we said 9. All right, so I am an incredibly strong but incredibly stupid, I
Oh
guess a
god, are you
himbo
actually making
lion man.
Oh, I thought you were Oh, it doesn't have to be a lion. I don't know why you think it has to be a lion. I guess
Because
we're
we have a
making a
lion on
dumb
screen.
I guess
We
we're
got to
making a
give the
dumb
audience what we
Catman.
expected.
I guess we have to make a dumb, like, buffed out Simba.
All
Which,
right.
by the way, yes, that's one of the many. That's one of the tribes of Bastet, if you're curious. That's the cat shifters. We're making a cat shifter.
So, character sheet. Make a copy of the character sheet on the back. Characters chosen by the character. Choose your method. I'm at level 1. Life points. My aura.
Also, yes, NDR, you are correct. Races classes was a thing. Mainly, I think the idea was that it was just for simplicity of play. It was just mainly because you were playing the archetype.
Now, I'm on page, I think it's 33.
Correct.
Random mutations.
So, because we don't have to do the other creation methods, which, by the way, adds
Yeah.
bloat and I think should not have been added, except maybe
No.
at the end.
So, there's a
By the way,
chance
here's
upon
what the
reaching
character sheet looks like for those curious.
busier than rifts.
Yeah, that's not good. Still easier to
So,
understand than Fatal, though.
yeah. So, random mutations. So, there's a chance upon reaching puberty, an adventurer's body will be changed because it has been affected by radiation. And no, I think affected is worse in this case. From the small blue and large yellow suns.
Oh yeah, the world ship has two suns hidden inside of it.
Where?
Uh, it's inside the world ship. Don't think about it.
I mean, wouldn't that just make Cancer? I mean, you have a blue one. Isn't that a what kind of star is that?
It's blue. That's why it's blue, which gives you superpowers. You see, you didn't realize, but the radiation of a blue sun. We're like dumber versions of Kryptonians. Like this is, I guess, their idea. I'm just making this up on the fly. And the blue sun just gives us powers, or in this case, mutations that don't kill us.
Okay, so every adventurer except for mutants and BSCs, I think biosynthesis cyborgs, has a 5% chance of acquiring mutation.
So basically, what you could do is, and what he's expecting you to do is roll a d100. I will,
Fuck,
however, tell you that you could
I
just
need
roll a
another
d20.
D10.
No, you just need a d20.
Um,
You have a
we're
d20?
going by the rules, Adam, and I'm fishing for the D10s.
D20 is a d100 and a 5 percentile increase. Fight me on that.
Okay, that's 1. Damn it, they're the same color.
You didn't think it through, did you? I would
That's
say roll
fucking.
your tens first, and
Nope,
then your.
I've got one. I've got one that's a 10s, and I've got one that's a 1s. We're ready to go.
If this does,
62.
Jimmy's saying if this doesn't have a quadratic equation as part of character creation, then yeah, this is easier. Well, in fairness, you only need to know the quadratic formula if you're casting magic in Fatal. If you're just playing a beat stick, you don't need to worry about that. I think you
No
do need
mutations.
trigonometry.
No mutations. And I'm too dumb enough for psionics or intelligence.
Yeah, I think you're just doing this to avoid having to come up with that.
All right, now agility. You get to
Okay.
fill in the rest of the scores. Consult table 14 for agility
So
and
your
the
advantage
segments.
bonus is 1 to 1/2, and that means you get 2 attacks per turn.
All right.
See, this is already a lot easier than Fatal. I don't know what you guys are talking about. This is a great system.
And so my attack segments are on 6 and 11.
Okay. I think this type of system's dumb, but I'm okay with how this works.
My dexterity being 10. I get a shot bonus, a +2 to dodge bonus, and a surprise adjustment of -5.
I have no context for what that means other than it does rely on percentile skills, so it is good that you fished the other D10 out.
So strength is 36. My damage adjustment is
10 times 10 plus 10 times 10.
yeah, however the way it looks due to quadratic equations would mean it's actually 100.
But don't worry. No. Actually, here's
I
the
know, I
reason
know.
why.
It
So I think we're doing orders of operations here. So what you first do is add the plus 10 to your initial roll, and then you multiply it by 10. Even though
which
in
would
orders of operations, you're supposed to do the opposite.
yeah, but it would make sense because then 37 is times 11, then 38 is plus 10 times 11.
Also, keep in mind that the weight limit that you can lift at that strength is almost a ton.
Wow. Now
There's a
let's see
reason I
for
was
my
telling you that you could do Marvel superheroes with this if you really wanted to.
wisdom. 9. I have a 30% chance to locate traps.
So your ability to get your ability to wake up.
I got a 40. I got a 46. I did not locate a trap.
Well, no, it means you got catfished by one,
Also, the max wisdom for mortals is 25, meaning you only have a 39% chance to find a trap.
which is unfortunate for those who are interested in that sort of thing.
I also do like how
Sadly, this means we cannot Fred Jones max.
yeah. And technically actually anything above mortal, I mean, okay, you get more bonuses, but it's like per level. It's actually better.
So here's how Constitution works. You have to roll your life points for your adventurer. So in this case, we're a were creature, which means that we use all others since they are not specified on this.
Oh, it's a d6.
Yep.
100.
Wow, this guy's gonna die like a frog in a blender. So basically, you're starting with 1 health. Fun.
Well, we get a constitution adjustment though. Constitution of 14 means 140 life points more.
So
That means I
basically,
get
we have a
240.
we have a whopping 2.4 HP.
And my fate versus magic and psychonics and EP is 5%, alchemy chi mutations is 9%, and metabolic shock is 38%. I'll give it here. I kind of do like that sort of. I guess your save bonuses are conditioned based on your constitution.
I mean that's kind of what they tried to do in D&D, and this is actually one of the things I'll give Cinnabar. Hey, look, there's something that we can compliment in Cinnabar. We both like how they handle Constitution better.
My ego score may affect your fate versus psychonics. And this is also I can see. Ego first look for E reaction.
So how do they calculate ego? So ego determines blah blah blah. List the number from table 23. What?
But where do I
What?
find it
How the hell do we do ego? Oh god, we're lost. This might be due to our own stupidity though.
for a possible ego reaction modification? Where did they say to roll?
What is our ego
Wait a
score?
minute.
We read this last week and we've already forgotten. Let me very quickly look at what ego is again. Thankfully, there's a helpful
Wait a.
glossary.
That's why we rolled 7. Lowest 2
Oh.
get replaced. So ego is 14.
I'm just making sure. It's intelligence plus wisdom, actually. So 8 plus what was our intelligence?
4. So it's 11.
Oh fuck, we're screwed.
And let's see what bonus we get. We get 1.
1. Amazing.
I can see the stacking it. I like the stacking, and of
It's
course,
a good idea.
and then of course we get our base surprise scores, of which
We're a were creature, so AA.
Wereman AA is 99%, against a Class A is a 79, against a Class B is a 75, and a Class C is a 70.
Which is
I'm gonna
uh
be honest, putting Class A, B, C in a fantasy
oh no, I get what this means. So
setting.
so here's the idea, right? Lower means good because
Yeah,
your
so
your base is you have to roll over from what I'm understanding, right?
like a 99% means that like
You need to
the
roll a
pants,
100 or a 1,
the pant,
depending.
yeah, the pants shitting goblin that screams a lot is going to be easy to spot if it's because it'd be class AA.
No, it's
But
the
the
opposite.
sneaking,
C is the from what I think it's higher skill. I think it's C is the easiest to see.
no, because it says care in one so like archers are better at detecting.
Do they actually explain? Let me look at how they handle surprise
No, they don't.
classes.
What the fuck is a class A?
So archers have a better chance of spotting a Class A surprise than a Class B. So let's look at what an archer does. Why is Class A easier than... What the fuck? Okay, I'm gonna have to go... We have to go back up the glossary because what the fuck?
They don't tell us. I don't think they told us in class.
Surprise. The chance that a character will be unaware of an attack or trap to determine whether a character is surprised, you have to see which class it falls into. Explain what the surprise classes mean. I don't think they do.
I don't. I guess it's related to a creature.
Uh, maybe it's... I thought because the way I interpreted it was the lower the rank, the easier it is to spot. Because
But
doesn't that make sense?
yes, but I have no clue. I'm going to go into something that's much more familiar to people. Physical appearance.
Also, Donman is right. I don't know. Something about surprise classes seems like you need to roll under in that case. That's what I'm thinking. Actually, if that's the case, you might be right. Where maybe A is high like that because it is screamingly obvious.
It might be like different types of creatures, like maybe a class. Because we were saying during the example play, it was Class B surprise when we were dealing with like the large dragon creature. Easier to spot. But
Surprise class being relevant to the thing trying to surprise, maybe Squirrel Killer.
well, I am not a wereman. I rolled a 3. Or no, I am a wereman. I thought I was a werewoman for a second. Now, what is my race?
So you wrote. So
I
you
am.
rolled a 3. Okay.
I rolled a 3. I'm male. I am a mixed race. I am white and white.
What does this mean?
Albino.
Um.
Well, hold on, wait. Use this for human characters only.
Oh,
I think we're good.
let's determine our fur color though.
Brown.
Technically, it's only for human characters, but I think were creatures have the ability to shapeshift. We'll find out.
All right. If not, and then eye color. Red. I am a red-eyed, pale, brown-haired wereman with a right-handedness.
This is actually okay. So this is something that used to actually kind of matter when it comes to tabletop gaming.
Shit, more dice.
No, no. Here's the reason why. If you're wondering why, specifically, what they did was they determined handedness because sometimes that would give you an advantage on attacks, or you would have a weakness to.
All right,
The
hold
lion
on.
from Georgia, maybe.
How many more? How many more six D? I'm just grabbing a whole bunch of the D6s.
Thank goodness we have a Warhammer player. We'd have been fucked otherwise.
Yeah, there we go.
So,
Okay,
so most
my
others, the base height is 48, and we need 66.
1, 3, 4, 6.
Are we gonna
It
get a
feels like I'm
manlet, or are we gonna get
feels like I'm
someone,
rolling a hit roll.
or are we gonna get someone who actually might get some interest on Tinder/Grinder, depending on what
Well,
orientation
it's
we get?
So let's see, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 4. So that's 4, 8, 12, 13. So 62 inches?
So that is
No,
5 foot
60.
2.
He's a manlet.
He's short.
All right, and now 1D100 for the weight. 79 plus 150. 150, 129.
229.
He is a fat wereman from Georgia.
That sounds about right. Is there a sexual orientation role? I don't think so, Squirrel
N-
Killer. I was just joking.
Now,
There is a
physical
physical
appearance.
appearance role.
Ugly! He's ugly!
An ugly bastard lion man.
I'm a fat bastard. Get in my belly. I pickle in the sun. Okay. Age.
So as a were creature,
1d4 minus 1. 4 minus 1, so 3. And at that number of years, your character's age. I'm 24.
yeah, that sounds about
Panther
right.
men start at the age of 400.
Yeah, but we're not a panther man.
All right. Starting money.
Also, no, there's no orientation role. There are aura rolls
17.
though.
So that is 1,000. Wait, nope, that's a 20. That's 1 to 20, so I got to roll a 20. $13,000.
That's not terrible. Like
Now
13K ain't bad.
I get to check how do I manifest my aura.
So aura is your alliance.
There are good auras.
Not alliance.
Gold.
Oh god,
Yeah.
alignment. Alignment.
Yep.
Sorry, this book is causing brain damage.
Gold, which is fanatically good. Silver, doer of good. And blue, heroes. They work to reform evildoers.
Then
So,
they're basically this is a dumb version of the alignment system.
yep. Green, which is tendencies for good but a mischievous streak. Violet, totally neutral. Violet doesn't seem like a neutral color to me. But we need to know how. Okay, hold on.
Oh,
I'll
if we
have to.
need to figure out how gay this guy is, okay, so I actually have an orientation table that you can use. You need a percentile die.
Done. 74.
Straight.
Women don't like me though. That's because I'm a
Don't
Sigma.
worry, this is a straight incel, ugly lion man. So then the evil aura is gray, red, and scarlet. I'm surprised black wasn't the last aura.
Yeah, that would.
Red and scarlet. Why would you? Okay, so color theory is something that does matter a little bit. And here's my big question about this. Why did you make scarlet, which is a vivid shade of red, and then red, which you don't specify the tone for?
Actually, here's what you could have done. Good auras are a shade of blue. Neutrals are purples. Evil is red.
That's a good idea, actually. It's such a good idea. There was a hit movie that was made by a guy who liked salad too much that did that with their glowing swords.
Holy fuck, you're right.
It actually works.
That actually is Mace Windu. Well, well, no, it's because he wanted a. It's because Samuel Jackson just wanted a purple lightsaber, but technically he
It turned
also
out to work. It turned
it turned
out to
it. They
work in
made it in the
lore.
lore to work because he leans a bit more dark sided.
He doesn't even lean. His whole concept is you have to understand the Force. You have to at least touch the bogan a bit.
Yeah,
Like you don't fall for it, but you have to understand the concept before you can actually do good. You need
and
his concept
it,
is very zen in that regard. To
the
to
the
identify
problem though,
good, you need
yeah,
evil as its shadow.
the problem though is the three other people he taught it to went to the dark side.
In fairness, that just means they weren't good enough.
Yeah. So what aura is this guy?
So this one, I think we just change. I think we just pick. Oh
I
wait,
know, and
let's see.
honestly I think Violet. I this ugly fat, short, ugly bastard of a lion never got to be able to seek out a pride mate. Very angry about that and deciding, you know what? I'm gonna actually become a Chad. I'm gonna conquer the world. I'm gonna sack a werebear, rip its skin off, and then Stacy will fuck me.
Similarly,
Or if
beings
not, I'll
having.
just kill her.
Well, here's some weird sub rules that exist that you have to actually fucking read, or you'll miss it. So, good thing you didn't pick blue. Do you want to know why?
Because they will never take another person's life under any circumstance, not even to save themselves.
That's kind of dumb. Also, they always swing back to that alignment.
Characters may only change their auras twice voluntarily.
Okay.
Well, if you're in a year-long campaign, you only have two times. Oh, other good news. However, if your aura is a biosynthesis cyborg or wereman, their auras cannot be read at all. Also, we shouldn't have been talking about this because we don't write your chosen aura. Instead, record in a way that only you can recognize.
Don't worry, I already changed it secretly. You're not going to know.
And we gotta invent a fucking code language just for our aura.
So, last but not least, well, not last but not least, there's still fucking more, is karma. This is the force governed by fate, which is the GM. Bad karma points are rewarded when the character do not conform to their aura. It's a punishment system if you're not playing your character. Some examples of this would be silver, which is the doer of good, killing an innocent person, or through an action allowing this to happen. A scarlet aura, ignoring an easy chance to kill a weak innocent victim. Violet aura, being too strongly towards either good or evil because we're doing this dumb alignment game.
I do have to say, I do like kind of in a way where they're saying bad karma is not just morally bad, but morally bad for your alignment.
Well, yeah, because you're not following the actual path that you're supposed to. Basically, so here's the thing, and this is something that used to make players flip their shit and lose their mind, is that originally alignment changes actually cost experience. Basically, it was a punishment system if you weren't playing your character. Admittedly, you made the character, so you should be able to fucking do it. But some people would either get cold feet, or they would play what's called a chaotic crazy piece of crap. Oh yeah, I'm chaotic neutral. That means I could set fire to this orphanage and then put everyone in clown makeup, and that'll be fine. No, no, that's chaotic evil, buddy.
Mm.
Have
So,
some nice level
yeah.
loss.
So, now we have to bring up the Immortal Born.
Well, actually, no, there is something of note. So the way karma works is there's good karma and bad karma. Good karma can be used as a way to either erase bad karma or you can use it as a fuck you reroll. Bad karma is the opposite from the DM side of things. This is one of the first that actually had this type of banking. So it's similar to if you've ever played Modiphius's 2d20 system, or actually there's Story Path, which I think is a downgrade from Storyteller. Both of them have that kind of system. Momentum is where you fail a roll, and every time you do, you get a little more of it so that you can kind of pick up the pace. In Modiphius, you can wheel and deal with your DM on stuff. So you can take complications later or eat them now, essentially, or just have scenarios that come out of nowhere. So how bad or confusing were the tables I missed? Asks Pagan Pilot. There's several points where we got lost. Not too many points, but it's still three. Like surprise class, we got surprised on. We have no clue how that shit works. We got lost on ego, but that required rereading the glossary to figure out how it works because this is the biggest problem with Raven's book. He assumes you know this shit instantaneously after reading it once, and he doesn't put the material up there again as a quick reference guide, which is not a smart way of writing. But yeah, all in all, so far, I'm actually okay with this character creating system. It's a bit clunky, but we're not having trouble. This actually might be more than we thought.
But we do want to talk about the Immortal Born. So if you lucky bastard ended up rolling 5 20s on your original 6 dies, you are immortal.
Yeah, you
You
just
receive a
get
good
so many
karma
things.
bonus, a 10 to 100 bonus on strength, and a +2 to each of the other 5 characteristics. You have a 10th damage protection, meaning you subtract damage by 10%, and eternal sustenance, which I believe means you don't need to eat.
Correct. Which, in my opinion, that's kind of bullshit. But the idea is you manage to somehow you show this off to the GM. Like this is kind of a reward for having freakish luck. I personally think the opposite should be the case, where if you just make a character that's really fucking shitty, they might get something like the equivalent of Fate's pity toy.
Yeah, although again, this is put in there because it is like mathematically improbable to
It's
get it.
highly improbable because you have to get out of your 7 stat lines, you have to get 5 of them as 20s.
Well, actually, what could have been funnier, and now that I think about it, is if you roll that, yes, you become a god, redo the character sheet.
That
Your character has ascended.
No, that'd be really funny. That'd be really funny as like, oh, thank you for the new god you made for me. Wait, what? Yeah, you made a new god for me.
Though, do say this character can show up as an NPC, and is thankful to the player character who made him.
Yep. NDR asked about the Conan game also having a karmic system. It does. It has something similar if it's the one that you're asking about, because Modifius has a similar system in general.
And now we go to the character descriptions.
By the way, Cinnabar is so great. Donman's computer had to update its BIOS. It basically interpreted watching this as like the mouth of madness, and possessed his computer.
So, to note for all the characters, there are 20 character classes that are guild trained, which are balancing and juggling, climbing, combat, dodging and blocking, combat handheld weapons, combat hand to hand, combat projectile and throwing weapons, computer operation, cooking, detect traps and secret doors, fishing, math, basic, medical, first aid, navigation, air, navigation land, navigation water, piloting boats, reading, running, sewing, survival, wilderness, swimming, basic, weaving, wood carving, and writing.
So yeah, our Lion Man, despite having an int of actual horrific dog shit, is somehow capable of reading and writing. Admittedly, I think
Maybe,
it might be I Think I Can, the story about the train, maybe.
yes, but we now go into all the characters that
It
you can
should be
play as.
noted that in earlier D&D, they actually explained what the different consequences of certain scores mean. And if you had, I believe it was an int below 7, you literally could not read. It was too
Boo.
hard.
Now, an alchemist. The alchemist train a secret location only known to them. Training will increase the intelligence by 3 points, which I guess is a lore reason for their bonus.
Well, yeah.
They're then they are then taken to a pocket dimension within the Alchemist Guild, and they are genetically altered so that their bodies can generate massive amounts of energy called starfire.
What the fuck?
Starfire is pure alchemy, and it gives them the
Uh,
lesser mutation analyzer. They learn how to shape the starfire energy to create a shield to protect themselves against alchemy, energy, and physical attacks. They also can fire star bolts.
okay. This
They
seems
preserve
kind of
the old
goofy.
knowledge of old Earth in special tomes recording the sciences of electronics, chemistry, physics, biochemistry, genetics, and many other studies.
Now, in
To them
fairness,
creating
alchemists having access to chemistry, genetics, and the computer things make no sense to me, in my opinion.
Now, they do get a special bag when they leave school. It has a mouth 7 inches across, but only 10 inches deep. However, anything it opens up into a pocket dimension that will hold up to 200 pounds of almost anything the alchemist wishes.
Congratulations, you over-explained what a bag of holding is, my guy.
However, if anything living, including organic electronics, is placed in the bag, it will die.
Why?
Enchanted potions, enchanted items, potions, and scrolls cannot. This is a bag only for technology.
Okay. That
And
doesn't. That just
but
seems
your
like a weird limitation, but okay.
but don't worry, your repair tools are inside mist crystals, and they're in their alchemist bag.
What?
Now, moving on, the laws of the alchemist faith. No knowledge of the faith shall be given to non-alchemists. No non-alchemist or engineer shall make any form of technology, nor shall they be allowed to possess the books or the machinery regarding their creation.
Well, I already hate them because this is some Brotherhood of Steel ass bullshit.
No alchemist, through action or inaction, shall break any of the law. Allow any other alchemist to break laws 1 or 2.
Yeah,
Nor
I
shall
already
they allow
dislike them.
rumor of such incidents against rule against. Nor shall they allow rumor of such incidents to go without investigation.
Basically, this is just a pathetic attempt to keep the sword and sorcery at the same level. I
And they give us all the basic abilities and whatnot they have. Um,
I mean,
they may also
there's no way in hell our lion himbo would be able to. Well, he's not even a himbo. He's fucking
no,
ugly as shit.
but also they
Incel.
know glass. Fun thing, they know glass blowing.
Well, yeah, you have to be able to make your own pipettes.
Yeah. Next up is Amazons. They're a sect of exceptional female warriors. They
Well,
were the second
we know what he's
organized
going to creep on.
explorer force from Terra after the Dark Age. Legend tells of their unmatched battle prowess. Actually, hold on. Was the Dark Age, was that after the alien invasion or the undead virus?
Oh God. I think it's the first Dark Age. I think it's after the alien invasion.
All right. During the Purging, legend says, they served with Cirrus the Bright Lord and fought the Drakes to a standstill. Usually they have fair complexions, green or blue eyes, and blonde or brunette hair. They have the ability of dealing with locks and traps using a device designed specifically for this purpose.
No, you forgot the dumbest part. Amazons begin their training in the womb. They control the gender and physical appearance of any child they bear.
So just in that 9 month, they're like, stop the Y chromosome.
They have mastered the arts of Kegels that hard.
Let's see. They know the Vulcan nerve pinch and the chi ability of ward of control, giving the user control over a subject's mind.
And now, in fairness, there were some really weird sci-fi settings that had stuff like this. This might be a nod to the Bene Gesserit. I don't fucking know.
You know that might be as well. Um, so they can detect astral forms.
They
They
might
know a
even
bunch of
be able to use Earth
biology,
magic, by the way.
meditation, nerve pinch, a bunch of martial arts, and they know the gold and red hand creates a glowing field around the user's hand of the chosen color. At 10th level, the gold can be used to bring back to life. You could just the fuck?
Yeah, you can just bring people back from the life. It's not a big deal. By the way, this is what Amazon usually dresses as. If you hate chain bikinis or like it, here you go. There's your eye candy.
It looks more like a Valkyrie instead of an Amazon.
It's because of the winged helmet and traditionally how they're kind of seen as.
Also, I'm sorry.
By the way,
Is she
that's what
wearing? What the fuck is she wearing in her genital area? Is she wearing fucking anything?
she is. It's a chain thong.
Ah, chafing.
I love the choice of having one greave on one leg.
Yeah. Oh, here's the ability. The control biochemistry. They are masters of their own bodies and can select their children's genders at will, as well as teach them in the womb.
Okay, so that's really insane and silly, but I know where this is coming from. I just realized
It
where this is coming from.
it is Benny Gesserit.
It is both Bene Gesserit, but it's also a nod to, if you've ever played Shadowrun, this is a nod to phys ads. They have a bit of physical adept kind of abilities.
Yeah, because I'm seeing here imitate death, increase strength and reactions, telekinesis, telepathy.
Basically, these are
Me-
Wuxia battle babes styled as Viking
yep.
heroines. I'm okay with this.
Amazon Toolkit, radio and sonar generator, ultrasound viewer.
Well, you need to see their pregnancy.
It's actually just anything. It's
I know.
not just
I'm just making fun because it has a big focus on the ability to manipulate their
and
womb, which is pretty fucking.
and
That's about on par with
well,
the
no,
werewolf obsession with breeding, which is a bit. Ugh.
electron freezer. It stops the flow of all electrons within 30 feet or 50 feet for up to 30 minutes, shutting down any flow of electronic defensive computers, as well as kill the lights and power if near the source. I don't think that's
It
how
should kill.
electrons work.
Oh no! If the
I think
electrons freeze, I think that should kill you. Well, remember your brain uses. Okay, so this is a case of did not think this through. This thing should have the ability within 50 feet for up to 30 minutes. Thing should have the ability to kill anything within 50 feet if they don't make their metabolic shock save. Because think about it like this. Your body uses electrochemistry to operate, right? That uses electrons, potential energy, right? This thing stops all form of electron movements for
um
30
so
minutes.
I'm getting here. If
Your
electrons were to
heart
stop moving,
stops, your lungs
yeah,
stop.
no. Your atoms would fucking collapse.
Correct. They actually might turn into pure neutron slop. So, so what might happen is you activate it, they slump over dead, and then a couple seconds later compact into degenerate neutron matter and explode.
This is hockey puck. Behold, everyone, I will save us.
Kill. All of you die, and then a mass explosion from the neutron matter explodes. I,
As just somebody is seeing this like on the edge of the battlefield as everything around them is not even just themselves but the land. It's 50 feet, so just there's this hole opening up in the earth, and it's sinking deeper, and he's 51 feet away though.
No, you forgot the dumbest thing of all because of their biochemistry. So as they run, you forget. Okay, I came up with the worst idea, like the worst idea that you could do with this character build. If you interpret it this way, this is not what Raven was thinking of, but this is just a shitpost. Remember, they have biochemistry, right? So that you could
Yeah.
turn this in in an electron freezer into a suicide bomber. And then you survive the consequence by using your biochemistry to eject your reincarnation out of your womb like a cannon 55 feet away. So that your character could infinitely do this, give or take a few generations.
And let's see, you then get a code buster, a
What a
magnetic mechanical
shitpost.
lock, and you get a D4 number of studies. And I like the D4 roll. A 1 or a 4 or a 2 or a 3. Not 1 and 2 or 3 or
Odds
4,
or
no.
evens, yeah,
And we'll need to go to
essentially.
chapter 10 for the Amazon special studies.
Does this also release neutrons causing spheres of high irradiation cancer? Asks Pagan Pilot. Kinda. I think the idea
Uh,
is the electron freezer is supposed to be a very
it
powerful EMP they don't fully understand, but I
yeah,
love the
that
idea that they just can
it
collapse
is.
into
It's
neutron matter
yeah,
and die.
yeah. Next up is the Aquarian.
Which, if you're
They were
wondering,
just
what happened was he really read a lot of Fantastic Four, and he read about Namor, the Avenging Sun, and the Atlanteans.
they were discovered 5,000 years ago. One of the legends, they were created by Arrhenius to protect the Terror Isles. Good
Basically, they're an abhuman
fucking
race that have a
job.
few fish traits.
They're um they fought the Sea Drake King. They have an underwater tunnel that surfaces near the Blind Owl Tavern. Their tunnel travels under the domes to Lake
Oh
Diamond
no no
Blood.
no! Look at this. This is a trace of Namorita. This is a trace of one of the Atlanteans from Marvel. Even has the ears. Holy shit! I was joking, but no.
Yeah. Let's see. They
So if
have
you want to
heat
play the Avenging
vulnerability.
Son of Marvel Comics, you can play him. Here he is.
Yep. 10th damage protection,
But by the
and they
way,
know
in the Marvel universe, cinematic universe, the hit great series, he was named Namor, which means he without love, rather than avenging
he
son.
was a Mashika. He wasn't an ancient race living beneath the sea. No, he was a Mexican.
Well, I mean, it could have been worse. Do you want to know what the original
Technically not a
idea
Mexican.
I heard that they might have used for him was? They would have gone with him being sub-Saharan African, we was Kangs, and would have culminated in him cucking Reed Richards. That's at least one of the weird hypotheses I've heard about what they were planning before they went with Kang. I don't blame
Is
you
this that
for
like
being disgusted.
BBC fetish thing?
Yeah, they really love the British Broadcasting Corporation for whatever reason. I don't know.
Let's see. So the only skill you know is advanced swimming,
Just keep
but
swimming, just
instead
keep swimming.
you get telepathy with sea creatures,
Well,
sonar, hold up, oxygen manipulation.
oh yeah, you have the ability to manipulate oxygen.
I want your Aquarians use ability as a method of attack by absorbing all the oxygen within an opponent's bloodstream, causing them to suffocate.
That's actually kind of metal. Not gonna lie, I kind of love that ability.
I need to. Oh.
That's actually fucking dope. Come on, you gotta give credit to this. This is actually really
Yeah,
fun.
I just need to see what happens. If you lose all of your oxygen, so not only would it be, suffocation, you lose a sudden, right? It would be a rapid drop in air pressure. Although I think this is just if no oxygen in the environment,
Yeah.
leading to barotrauma, where the inner ear and other air-filled space in the body cannot equalize pressure.
Well, no, you're not thinking big brained enough. I'm thinking like telekinetic Kenshiro death as your blood boils, as the oxygen is ripped out of your body violently. Like all the gases just erupt out of your flesh and you just die. Like in do not look
Uh, uh,
up the
mm,
aftermath, but basically, if you've ever heard of the Byford Dolphin incident,
implosion.
yeah.
Basically, you ever seen the head explosion scene from Scanners?
Imagine that, but it's through your whole body.
Thankfully, I think you die before your brain realizes it.
Thankfully, yeah. You don't even know you're dead.
So, let's see.
As
And then,
for
of
the
course, you get your
adaptations you pick
adaptation.
up, some of the cool things you can get include being an electricity generator, shoot,
2/10 damage protections.
which is I actually kind of don't hate the idea of how he splits up damage protection. This is his take on damage reduction. I kind of like this.
A sonic glider, super strength, poison spines, claws, or an extra one, or telepathy.
This allows you to make anything from Aquaman to basically whatever the hell you want.
But next up, you're an archer. Heidi ho fiddly dee. I can shoot an arrow on my knee.
Yeah, I mean after basically making the Submariner, like where can you go from here?
Well, you do get strange arrows, and it basically you're shooting
Hey, do you
wizard
want to be
spells.
Robin Hood, but even more fabulous? Well, here's your option, buddy.
You get an invisible arrow. I don't know what. It's invisible to normal vision.
It's just invisible to all but you.
Now I'm gonna be that actually. No, even better. Silent exploding arrow.
Yeah, you can do. You can also do Earth Power Arrow, Entangle Arrow, Arrow of
Boom.
Annihilation.
What?
So you can fire an arrow that is so filled with Earth Power it instantly disintegrates its target.
Okay. You know what?
Okay, I like where you're going
McCracken
with this.
McCracken was cooking here. The
Dom,
other thing, I'm not the other, so they get a plus 25 to their shot bonus. So that's actually really good. They can create matter. They have an earth power spell which they can cast once per day to manufacture arrows or replace lost or damaged bows.
I like that. Basically, what happened? Okay, so you can see the logic here. Raven was kind of tired of because archers have ammunition, and if you run out of ammunition for your arrow, for your bow, you're fucked, right? He gave him this power specifically so they can never run out if they manage their resources well. I like that. Here's the thing. I actually like his take on classes. This is actually pretty good.
And let's see, special arrow. So those were arrows that you can know how to use.
Oh, there is one other thing about archers is as a whole they tend to be compulsive gamblers. They
But
also because this is an organization, the Archer Society are very much the type of philanthropist because they actually run museums.
so you can
I think
make.
that's really weird, but
So actually,
interesting.
here's the thing: you can enchant the regular shafts with earth power enchantments, and once learned, they can place several effects on any shaft except those of the arrow annihilation or nullification. When the arrow is drawn, an archer may instantly place up to 4 enchantments on it.
Bacon Pilot's already cooking
Okay,
some good ideas. Duct tape an
that's
antimatter spell to this thing. Well, yeah, you get that. That's the arrow of annihilation.
okay. No, this is like there's no like where you have a telekinetic ability where it's like you shoot it and the arrow will grab the object and return it to the archer.
Oh, you forgot another cool one. Phase arrow. It passes through any defense that would not stop a phase attack, so it could go through
So
walls.
this is incredible for a stealth mission.
I
Hey,
actually I like this.
I need to get this treasure, this key. Phased invisible retrieval. Done.
Oh yeah, Arroyo's right. We need a punching glove arrow. I guess that's the stunning arrow. By the way,
So no,
you drain a con point. If you're wondering, spells use Constitution, so if you have bad Constitution, you actually can't cast that much.
so no, I'm gonna be like people are gonna. I've seen so many videos on this goofing at the archer. No, you look at it, it's incredibly effective.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. In older editions of tabletop games, archers were actually quite dangerous. They were not as dangerous as casters, but a good archer, especially with magic imbued arrows, are highly lethal, and on average, they can hit you with spells from beyond what the caster can do.
Hmm.
Because a bow has much more range than most of a wizard's spell slots, except for the farthest touching ones.
But next up though
They
is the
they get
bio.
they get
Yeah.
memed on specifically because 3rd edition nerfed the shit out of ranged combat.
Uh,
Mainly because Monty Cook is a mage supremacist. But yeah, we now get biosynth cyborgs, and this guy literally looks like he crawled out of an 80s Marvel comic, and I love him.
artificial reproductions of humans, right down to their synthetic DNA. Oh no, did Bethesda get their hands on this?
They might have. All I do know is that these guys are basically synthezoids.
They may gain up to 150 EGs per 1% of their body weight in the food they've eaten. They have a glass-like substance for their skin. They were originally created by Synnibarr's immensely complex computers to use their special powers for defense and repair of the external surface. However, an explosion 50,000 years ago erased the memories of the computers that programmed them.
There are also ancient vats that create flawed machines called Omni-BSCs. They have all 4 adaptions, are unstable, and cannot be trusted. You can tell if they're an Omni by the black circle tattoo in the center of its right palm. They are programmed by a flawed computer and created only to do evil.
They do not have a true constitution score, but for the purposes of fate rolls, treat them as having a score of 20.
Fair enough.
Damn.
They're constructs. They don't have a constitution.
Heals 100 life points per day, can interface with computers. Um, they are not shut down by the Dark Continent, but their powers are limited. They have vision modes,
They can be
radar.
possessed, though, by creatures, but they cannot be Vulcan nerve pinched or power transferred, or have powers transferred to them. They are also immune to disease, poison, and chemicals.
They can.
But potions
They have
also
different.
do not affect them. They
So
cannot
they have 4
metabolize.
types of adaptations. So they could be either a magic, psionic, or an earth power generator, which allows them to use those spells.
Yep,
A
generator,
gen,
genetech,
yeah,
infiltrator, or warrior.
a gen tech which allows them to learn and employ mutations. Infiltrators, stealth, and warrior. Yeah, your straight up combat guy.
Oh no, you can
Great.
if you want to use this angel, you definitely could use the BSCs as if you want to kind of like make your own takes on Iteration X creations or some of the abilities they can use with spheres. This book isn't actually too bad for that sort of shit.
Like
I'm
here,
actually kind of like I'm getting won over by this book.
yeah, like here. Weapon creation, big gun. First of all, you can make a gun whose range is 5 miles, or a grenade launcher with a mile-long range. I
Yup.
don't think grenade launchers actually fire that far.
They don't. I
But
mean, well, yes and no. They hypothetically can, but due to air friction, they usually can't. Air friction and the timer on the explosive.
mhm. The grenade is a fragmentation type with a 20-foot blast radius and can be released with a timer that will trigger to explode at the creator's mental command. You're the fucking robot demo man.
Yup.
And then, at level 40, Midnight Sunstone Bazooka. It is a bazooka that does 100,000 to 400,000 LDP plus 10,000 LPD per level after the 45th level. Holy shit.
It's essentially a nuclear bazooka. You basically get your hands on a Davy Crockett nuclear bazooka. I yeah, I can actually see why I can actually see why people besides Raven actually liked this game. Yeah, it's clunky as shit, but once you kind of understand the basics, you can do some real insane shit with this.
Chameleon Drake. Some say they were created by artists to bridge the gap between the two dominant races on Cinnabar, the Drakes and humans.
By the way, if you're
Legend
wondering, this
states,
was one of the characters when
yeah,
last week with Biggs, he had to voice act this thing.
yep. Legend states that a harem of 9 human females were transmorphed into female drakes of normal size and shape. In time, females mated with male drakes and laid a number of eggs, 50 of which survived, which, despite the fact that they were not human, but now drakes, they made drake humanoid hybrids,
Okay, fair enough.
of which the drakes did not know what to say. The female drakes did not make explanation, but what only I can figure is no. The actual legend is that these female drakes were getting human dick on the side.
I'm going to move on from that because this is someone's fetish, and I want to shame them for it. Basically, they thought they were diseased. They were found to just be heavily mutated, and they were thrown out because, in the words of the. But rather than tell the father drakes, which would have kicked them out because keep the race pure and thriving, the dragon just didn't say shit.
My baby is human.
So, some natural
Th-
abilities. You have natural weapons, which do 1 to 4 LPD,
Yep, you've got resistances, 10th level protection.
which is pretty good. Also, you have an innate resistance to a degree to magic and psionics.
Yeah, and of course you have mutation, your ability to
You
change
also
forms.
soak. You also soak. Like, let's say you get 5,000 damage thrown on your ass. You could go like, actually, I only take 4,500. They're pretty strong.
Donman, I agree with you on the rift statement. Absolutely correct.
I mean, yeah.
Yet again,
Here's the
the
thing. I think Rifts is easier to get into. I think the setting is not as interesting as this one personally, but I would argue I think Rift handled this better. It's just like it's a clunky book, but like getting into it is easier than this. But once you
so
can
then
get
you
into
get a
this, I'm actually really
yeah.
starting to dig this book,
It gets like you can change your form though into any of the other drakes. So you get basically to temporarily be any of the other drakes.
which is pretty fucking powerful, by the way. Because one of
Different
them just
magic.
has Eyes of Death, which causes cerebral hemorrhage. The
But
fate
then next up
shy.
is yeah, is the dwarf. They
Oh
are
no!
a
Also,
fierce of
before we talk about the dwarves, since we did mention that this book is interesting, in the description of each of these streams that we cover Cinnabar, I have linked to where you can get your hands on the third edition of Synnibarr because Raven actually re-released it as a series of books. First, there's the free start rules, and then there's a bunch of other books like the world and the monsters and other things.
So
So
when
if you
we talk
want to
about,
give it a try, you can get it there.
yeah. So the dwarves lived in a city called the World of Ains, where they have a hidden city named Jewel, leaving their king queen Tracedil and Macerdia.
Okay.
They are rowdy, love to fight and drink. They are the language masters of Cinnabar, having many tales to tell, including notes on the Dark Age squared and the Purging.
Yes, they
Now,
do.
that was not a squared, that was a footnote declaring that the Dark Age lasted 18,000 years while Cinnabar is en route to Shalom. The age was named for the contagious regressive mutation virus, aka known the Bimbo virus.
Oh, the Bimbo virus was like a couple thousand years prior to this then. So the Dark Age is not that far out. Also, if
Yeah,
you're wondering, they have the ability to walk on walls because they are master climbers to the point where if a wall is uneven enough, they can actually fucking sideways walk it like a spider. There is also the they
it looked.
also are very good at understanding social mores. Like despite being rowdy, they'll never make offense to their guest
They'll never. When in the company of Plant Man, he'll never mention mutant gophers and
or
only
eat
eats meat.
vegetables. He will only eat meat.
That's very nice. They can also speak any form of language, even sign language.
So the reason
I'm going to
dwarves
take that. No, I'm going to take that literally, as in somehow the deaf man will hear him.
I love the idea they no. Think about it. Psychic powers exist, so he might actually talk in his mind as he signs.
Once heard, he will remember it forever, but does not include Verdant Nailbrog, which is the Enochian language of this setting.
I think it's
They also
interesting that while they do have some of the metallurgy specialty, because that's more because they have connection to older technology rather than an affinity towards it. Their affinity is towards language and climbing. The smithing is just because they still have more records from before the dark times. That's interesting. Like they're not masters because they were
yeah,
blessed by that the way. It's
yeah.
more
They
just they had the tech.
they also have Thor's hammer.
Yes, they do.
They each get a hammer that is returned to the thrower, pulling a force of 10,000 pounds,
Yeah, the
and is
dwarves are
unique to them,
super
and can
strong.
shoot a hex bolt.
By the way,
They can
dwarves have super strength, which this ability adds 1 to 200 points to a dwarf's strength score. It is always in effect and is mutation based. The maximum strength that the dwarf can have is over 400. So, for comparison, let me show you how strong a fucking dwarf is, because I think you don't understand just how nonsense that number I just fucking spewed was. Uh, a dwarf can hypothetically lift well over 6 tons and have a damage equation multiplier at its max of times 135 when they slam into you. So you roll your
hot
damage and
sandwich.
multiply that by 135.
Also, by the way, dwarves can teleport.
Yeah, they can do that. Don't think about it.
Now, giants. Giants were the first race to leave the Terra Isles, braving the Werestorm, and it's crossed the sea. Wait a minute. Giants crossing the sea? Did did this guy create the references to Dark Souls 2?
Probably. Remember, he
They
was
made their home on
inspired
the
by RuneQuest.
Miyazaki. You owe this man money.
Yeah,
I know you don't speak English, but you owe this man money.
Hayao Miyazaki. Look, I know you think anime was a mistake and everything you've made has resulted in
No, not
shit.
Hayataka. Although
Hayataka
maybe
Miyazaki.
Hayo as well.
Hayataka Miyazaki. Look, I know you want
Actually,
to. I know you want to thank Glorantha and I guess Germ. By the way, Germ is a hack because he probably borrowed from Chaosium on that shit. Because
no, he borrowed from Cinnabar.
well, yeah. Here's the thing. You can actually make that accusation. You want to know why? Remember how he got his start as a writer. He got his start as a writer on working on computer games for Beauty and the Beast, if I recall correctly. And on top of that, was known for playing tabletop games. In fact, it's actually where he got his writing style from his time as a GM.
Holy shit.
So
So,
he might have fucking did that. He might have read World of Synnibarr. A
so
Souls-like of Synnibarr? Yeah, actually, Japan, you need to do this. Don't put like a shitload of money. Make like
McCracken,
we have an
learn
idea.
Japanese. Listen, I know you can probably do that. Learn Japanese, head over to From Software, slam this book, and say, make a game out of this.
It doesn't need to be expensive. Just like have it be a double A or like a Metroidvania of this shit.
Because I want you to understand this. So, giants, they're 16 feet tall. They can shrink themselves.
Yes, they can.
And objects stay reduced in size unless they change size again. And they can sense aura colors for up to 50 feet tall. So they can go from 16 feet to 8 feet.
And on
They
top
also
of
know a
that, they
secret
have
port.
magic.
Yep. They have developed flying ships. These are giants that can fly. They have air sailors.
I
Fill,
love this creativity.
fill the manual pump. No, Games Workshop may have stolen the Caradron overlords. Even though they're dwarves, this gas is created by pouring water over imperfect fire diamonds. The radiation separates the hydrogen from the oxygen, and a manual pump carries it to storage chamber. Oxygen for the fire diamond reactor
Here's
used to
another
breathe
thing.
in higher
No,
atmospheres.
you missed something. Fire diamonds. That's a Star Wars trade item, if I remember right. So he read some of the EU books. Raven. If I remember right, fire diamonds are an actual trade item in Star Wars somewhere in one of the books.
Mustafar fire diamond.
Yeah. I love this.
Problem is though, it's only a canon thing.
Oh, unfortunate.
So no,
That means
Claudia
Disney
Gray.
stole from them.
Claudia Gray, you owe McCracken a shit ton of money.
Oh yeah, she owes him like $5. Let's be fair. At least enough to use the name.
So they have 2 10th level damage. They know strong hand-to-hand combat, and they can shrink size. And they know carpentry.
Well, yeah, because they're master boat. This is another thing I have to say I like about World of Synnibarr. It plays with the fantasy races, where they keep most of what they're known for, but very slightly changes it.
Next up, though, well, actually, beforehand, giants can also learn earth power spells if their wisdom is 19 or greater.
By the way, Pagan Pilot does have a good point. If we got Sword World translated finally, then Japan deserves the copy of World of Synnibarr translated into Japanese.
Now, next up is the gnome.
Oh no, not the gnomes.
They love all plants and animals. They can speak different animal languages. They know earth power, but they're not prolific, as the female gnome only has 2 or 3 children her entire lifetime. They tend to be strict vegetarians, love music and sculpture, excel at toy making.
There's nice lore for these gnomes, but the thing is, like, these are more standard gnomes.
So they get just a +1 advantage.
Oh, I know what he did. No, because look, they mentioned specifically that they tend to be very isolated, plain, simple, warm-hearted folk. They combined gnomes with halflings.
They get shadow vision, enhanced senses. They receive an earth root staff, and they are pure practitioners of the art with the use of earth power. So I guess they start off with a shit ton of spells.
It's because they have magical talent. And Jimmy is asking, what would happen if we got McCracken, Stafford, and Zymbiota in the same room? It would either be the worst RPG ever made or the most crazy world setting that you'd ever get your hands on, that you'd have to then use a different RPG
they'd
setting.
actually end up creating an alternate reality.
They might achieve Chim and go away like the Dwemer, yeah.
Well, no, we need to drop Kirkbride in there.
They might achieve Chim. Or they become illuminated and drag the world into the era of the Red Moon 2 Electric Boogaloo. I
Next,
like even that
yeah.
one, which is not necessarily like the most creative, it's still neat. Also, Mage Warriors.
So mage warriors, they have a 35% chance of knowing about a particular science or technology.
Magic and Arthur C. Clarke, science advanced far
Yep.
enough can just be seen as
And
magic.
same thing, they get the magic tree staff and the pure practitioners of the art and magic.
Also, yes, Greg Stafford is dead, but don't worry, he transcends time and space because he's illuminated. You can still run
Oh,
into him on
absolutely.
hero
This
quests.
motherfucker, he's in the god time.
Oh, that's a little bit on the nose. The mutant example is literally Colossus from X-Men.
They are
That's
the
Pyotr
Neo.
Rasputin.
Yeah, they are the Neo Sapiens.
This is literally. Hey, do you want to play the X-Men in World of Synnibarr? Here you fucking go, pal.
Ba da 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 da.
Oh, I just realized it actually is
Oh
good
yeah,
timing because so World of Cinnabar first edition I think came out in '91, and this is the improvers. This came out when the X-Men show was going, so they actually might have had some synchronicity here if
yeah.
there's a better
And
book.
let's see.
And
Have
also,
you
this was clearly written during Claremont's run.
you get resistances?
Well, the end of
Oh,
Claremont, beginning of other guys' runs.
so from the 1st to 10th levels, only one mutation can be used at a time. 11th through 20th, two can be used. 21st to 40th, 3, 41st to 50th, and then so on and so forth. If a spell or ability is used, it takes the place of mutation when attempting it more than one ability at a time.
And also,
All
what
phys-
your
oh here
abilities are based on. Hmm?
yeah, all physical mutations are always on. Recessive do not count to the maximum number of lesser mutations a character can have. So you just get crazy fucking powers.
Yes, you do. And how many powers you get are based on your D10 roll. You cannot get any more than 2 master's powers, but it's still interesting. I kind of like that setup.
This Jimmy, they might create IRL chimp.
They might. Also, all physical mutations are always on. But enough
Yeah,
about mutants. Let's talk about the greatest threat of all, the ninja.
as the saying goes, ours is a tradition of service to those in need. Seek to those in distress and the protection of the meek. We use the art of ninjutsu and the gift of chi
Well,
to
key.
aid us in
It's
our
pronounced
fight.
key.
We are the silent blade of the wheel, in march with the force of the universe. Life and death. We are the ninja, invisible warriors of the night.
The ninja train for 22 years in a temple within the city of Terra. During this time, they leave the temple only at night to practice using stealth. However, this is done with only the aid of a teacher and only a command. During training, ninja learn one of their most powerful attacks, the nerve pinch. The nerve pinch can be administered to anyone who has a neck and a nervous system. The second skill all ninjas learn is telepathy. They learn this by interacting with other ninjas. Ninjas learn how to see it with another sense called shadow vision, which is dark vision. This vision allows them to see in total darkness, similar to radar. They can also use special tools called tiger claws to enable them to climb walls and build ceilings.
So I like this though. With ninjas, they're taught to find any trap or secret door, and they receive a toolkit like the Amazons. If the kit is destroyed, it can only be replaced by an emotion of 2 complete levels.
Because that's very expensive, and you're expected to. This is actually a thing, I think, not with ninjas necessarily, but with just generalized in many cultures. These are the tools of your trade, and you're expected to keep them in good shape.
Let's see, ninjas learn height and awareness. This gives them a -20 to be surprised in all classes. Oh, so it is a roll above. We'll figure it out when we get there.
It's roll below. No, it's roll below on skills. We had a little bit of trouble because the example of play, they kept having dodge required to roll low,
Mhm.
but then the skills required to roll high, but then the skills that needed to be low.
Then
Basically,
let's see.
it's like old Dungeons and Dragons where on skill checks you have to roll under the number. On
Then here's the thing.
attacks, you want to hit high.
And Don is right. All ninja weapons ninjas are considered beam attacks when attacking with weapons, and the weapons they have: sai, samurai swords, shuriken, staff, and bow, and they can create poisons.
Yes, they can. And on top of that, keep in mind that they move at near light speed. Basically, they have the ability to legitimately Metal Gear Solid revengeance your ass in slow-mo,
But then next
which is,
is
is pretty
the
great.
yeah, let's see. Next is the Psy Elf. Born in the enchanted continent near the Emerald Downs. They grow in the deep forest and learn the ways of the woods. That's They can jump enormous distances, locate traps, secret passages, use all forms of weapons. Um,
Oh god, Jimmy's talking about one of the weirdest fucking storylines in X-Men ever, which, if you're curious, since we just covered mutants, there was an arc where Nightcrawler, who was part of the second generation of X-Men, also known as Kurt Wagner, managed to become the Pope.
how?
Because what happened was an anti-mutant group wanted him to win the election, and when he basically got in, they faked the rapture by killing millions with tainted communion wafers.
But but he's not a cardinal. How could he become pope if he's not a cardinal?
Because he's a devoted Catholic.
But
You
he's
don't
not a
you
cardinal.
don't have to be a cardinal to be elected pope. It just is
Wait, really?
usually, yeah.
Really?
Any member of the church, any member of the body can become a pope. It's just it is traditionally a cardinal because you make the correct political connections and you have the education on theology.
You know what would be funny though?
Although
Just for a
I
laugh.
don't think it was a bishop. I think he actually became a cardinal in the storyline, and they were trying to make him become a bishop or blame him for it, if I remember right.
What? Just for a laugh, the Catholic Church is like, we're gonna put a 10-year-old boy to be the pope.
I mean, one time a guy managed to get his nephew in as pope. Like the previous pope got his nephew elected when he died by using horrific amounts of bribery.
Not a Borgia pope.
I think he was one of the Borgia popes.
Hmm. Um, let's see.
He became a
Uh,
cardinal briefly, if I remember right, Jimmy. Uh, I think he just rejected it because he thought that basically he focused on his commitments as a hero and he didn't want to get it because of a plot like that.
but at the same time, though, imagine him wearing a pope hat.
That's, I think, the entire reason for this storyline, because the idea of a demon-looking motherfucker becoming a cardinal was just so funny. But yeah, the reason I'm kind of talking because the elves are kind of boring. They have elf daggers,
Yeah,
which are psionics and
they get elf
chemicals,
daggers. Yeah, they got psionics. So they got some special abilities. I
but
don't know.
they're kind of boring. Let's be fair.
Shadow Master, trained at
Tesseracts.
Tessorix
Oh, that's another
Psionic
thing, by the
Academy.
way. That's another thing we missed. If I remember it, I think archers have access to the Tesseract.
Hmm. But
Or is it a mage? I don't remember. One of the classes we
once
previously read have
once
the
a child
Tesseract.
is admitted, he drinks a special potion called the Sesha Ardremus. It's still from the Shashan mushroom.
Saisheen Adremus.
So what? And it gives them, I guess, certain abilities and psi
Oh
points.
no. Here's how it works. They basically give the kid radioactive magical ayahuasca, and while they're on the ground seizing and having nightmares, they guide them psychically through their own inflicted insanity to basically go on a magical spirit quest.
And they get telepathy, psychic awareness, psychic points, and are the pure practitioners of shadow or of psionics.
But by the way, the best thing about this is without the mentor there, you just become a gibbering schizophrenic wreck.
But then there's the Shadow Warriors, which were created by the Shadow Masters under the guidance of the Shadow Knight.
I
He
don't
possessed
actually dislike
genetic
this idea.
engineering.
I don't dislike this kind of concept
Yep.
for like a psychic order like this.
So they're the guards of Shadow Masters.
Actually, this reminds me that the Diopsid created his own variation of the psychic warrior that specialized in shadow casting, mainly because he liked the mechanic from Tome of Magic.
So let's
It's a bit clunky. So Tome of Magic was like the last third edition, one of the last third edition books, or like in the middle. And what it did was it introduced the Incarna, which is the blue magic guys, shadow casting, which is it's a bit fucky, mainly just because it's very strong in the back half, pretty weak in the beginning, and the glorious True Namer. I think it
Mm.
also had binders.
But looking here
But I like this. I like this concept
for
of like a
the
shadow cabal.
the Shadow Warrior, they don't have that pure psionic ability, but they do have enhanced awareness, their own sound saber. I guess they're just a bit more combat
No,
oriented.
think about it. They have their own variation of a lightsaber, but it's a vibro knife.
You're right.
It is literally an invisible death blade made out of sound.
Next up, though, is the Shaman. As a race, the Shamans are North American Indians.
Oh no. Oh no. We're going that direction, huh?
Hey ya 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 hey ya ya.
Remember, this wasn't seen as racist back then because this was trying to emphasize good qualities of a culture we didn't understand. Though thankfully not
Although
all tribal shamans are Indians now.
their race is the Sinachi. They live in the northern
Also,
area of
also, this is the other
the
thing.
Carolina.
This is this is a tribe that formed over thousands of years from collectively a variety of native traditions.
And they are generally great tailors. And they use a system of feathers to determine rank.
Oh god. Also, keep in mind their tailor specialty, leather.
What are they, the Illini?
I'm just now okay, we're going down a dark rabbit hole in my brain, so I'm gonna try to kill that thought before I
They
talk
do
about
not.
this.
So they do not cast their magic spells. They control their magic with special songs and sometimes their natural focusing objects, such as bear claws tied on a ceremonial wand. They also can control the air to create a form of music played on an instrument called the dalada.
Oh god.
It weighs 900 pounds and resembles a grand piano. It uses the
Okay.
wind to vibrate strings, reeds, pipes, and percussion.
Oh yeah, I've
This
seen
guy's
this is a
this
real
guy's
thing. I think this
it
is a real
is.
thing. I think the Dalhada is a real thing. If it isn't, I've seen musical instruments that do that with wind. He's
I'm
looking it
not
up.
seeing anything about it. I wasn't seeing anything about it. The best. Oh wait, hold on. The best of the musicians assemble bi-monthly in the Granite Bowl,
The
a
Granite
structure
Bowl.
carved by the builders of a town over 45,000 years ago. It seats up to 5,000 people, and its acoustics are exquisite. The bowl is located in the city of Stone Spray, on the northernmost coast of Holderian, near the highest mountains on the island.
Okay, it's not called the Dalhada, but I know there is a type of musical instrument where the way it works is it's a series of pipes that are left open and use air to manipulate it. I don't know what it's actually called, but it's a real thing.
I believe that is called every wind instrument.
No, you don't blow into it. It uses wind.
Oh,
It uses wind like and air valves and shit. Also, the Granite Bowl is a nod to. Ever heard of a Greek Odeon?
ah.
It's like a Greek
Eh.
theater. Basically, it's a cut into the hill so the echoes correctly. So if you're in
So
the center
this,
stage, you can speak.
so I guess it appears to be they are a pure practitioner.
They also have a
I
mage
guess
tree staff.
I guess they're the bard.
They're one
This is
part
the
bard and one part druid, which I don't
this is
hate.
the bard this is the bard class.
It's part bard, part druid. But imagine if instead of like a lyre, you carry a 900-pound piano that uses woodwind.
Next up though, Gold and Scarlet Tiger.
I told you would find superheroes. Check it out. It's Daredevil
Na
on
na na
meth.
na 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 na
Meth
na na.
man. Meth man.
Gold and Scarlet Man with a tiger ring.
Oh no, this is his attempt at making Iron Fist. They're finally trained martial
I
artists.
I Iron Fist Lantern.
Oh my fucking god.
Catman. It is sometimes said that one golden or scarlet tiger can defeat 5 ninjas at the same level. They never sleep. They are trained to completely flood their bodies with chi energy that allows them to strike with incredible speed.
They're basically kung
Because
fu superheroes.
wait, Because they do not sleep, they have developed a strong sense of duty to those who do need rest, which is everyone.
Mainly mages, because
I
remember,
I
those who
wait
use
now.
spells, they burn constitution, so while they rest to recoup it, they watch over them.
I learn empathy because I don't have to go to sleep. Let's see. The golden tigers involve themselves in chi energy. The scarlet do it with a blood red flame.
Basically, when they flare
Oh
up, they have full anime ki auras like
no,
DBZ.
no. That's because gold they can never be neutral. Gold are good guys. Scarlet are bad guys.
Correct. You have to be either gold or scarlet alignment to be these guys. Melosia, yeah, that's what I was thinking about Pagan Pilot. Melosia, the piano you blow into. There's also a version that has wind. But yeah, they don't sleep. They just need to meditate for 6 hours. They have beam attack advantage because not only do they have kung fu, but look, they fire projectiles out of their body. Hand-to-hand damage. They at least do 100 life points of damage. And it just gets better. They also have beam attack dodge and a jumping bonus, which allows them to essentially double jump. And then they get all of
Run
these abilities.
telepathy with other tigers. Now, when they say that, does that I think they mean golden scarlet, but I'm going to say they do get tiger scent. They're able to communicate with tigers.
I would rule of cool it. I would rule of cool
But
them to
also,
be able to
yeah,
talk to tigers, like actual animal cats.
I guess they are. I guess yeah,
They're
they are the
Tiger Man.
lantern cores.
So you got the gold and the. You know what? You should definitely be able to come up with your own variants of the tigers.
No, no. Next page.
Oh boy, the mage tiger.
Holy Rob Liefeld, Batman! Look at all the pouches.
This is the unholy love child of Batman and Doctor Doom, and I'm all here for it, man. He has no. It is Batman, Doctor Doom, and his uncle was Judge Dredd because look at that chin line. Holy shit.
No, 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 no. His uncle was the Crimson Chin.
He is the Crimson Chin.
Mage tigers enter the first months of their training while they're still in their mother's wombs. They
it's
are
really
taught
weird he's
about
doing this.
magic and its workings from then on until they are 10 years old.
Imagine being a fetus and all of a sudden you just hear a voice in your head. It's like
The
being
eye
born
of
with
the no, no, no,
schizophrenia.
no. You know when they're doing the ultrasound, instead of hearing the thump of the child's, it's the eye of the tiger. Dun 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 dun.
The thighs that, well, yeah, he could destroy the universe with those thighs.
He gets shadow vision, telepathy.
Dr. Crimson Bat Dread. That's his name done.
They are partial practitioners of the art.
They're not as skilled in the martial arts aspect because much like how so here's an interesting fact about Doctor Doom in Marvel. He almost became the Sorcerer Supreme at one point, and in some alternate universes he does. The reason he usually loses out is specifically because he sacrificed knowing the deepest parts of mystic arts to focus on technology as well.
Mm.
That's basically what these guys do. They forswear some of the martial arts training to specialize in the mystic arts that their peers cannot.
So, next up though is our wereman. They were created as servants of the alchemists more than 25,000 years ago. Because the art of the alchemy was still in its infancy, there's a flaw in their creation. They felt superior to their creators, and in some ways they were. At this time, a werewoman named Tavasa banded her people together and moved to an inhospitable group of islands called the Mountain Islands.
Not the best names.
Young weremen and werewomen go to school in Terra where they are taught reading, writing, and advanced math.
I like how advanced math is just something most of them know. And also, yeah, Angelo Arroyo, Doctor Doom, that is his name. He was a very early Silver Age kook, and his entire thing is just showing up Mr. Fantastic. He is
Yeah,
currently being played by an alternate version of Iron Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because of one issue of a What If comic made 12 years ago that was likely made specifically so that they could do something like that just in case Robert Downey Jr. decided to stop being fucking Iron Man.
but so they go to school for 15 years. They're kicked out of school at the age of 21, given $500 to start the new life.
I like how they just get kicked out by with the alchemist. Like for whatever reason, the weremen just work with the alchemist and then leave.
They have special alchemy-based powers. Um,
No
so
respecting wereman would be caught dead dressed as an alchemist.
let's see their skills. So they know advanced math, impersonation, interrogation. So they're not werewolves, it seems like. They're supermen, ultramen, even.
Perhaps.
Because, yeah, they can create doppelgangers, they can cause someone to have selective amnesia,
That's
use a
weird.
dark bolt, a shadow form. So,
What the
what it
fuck?
seems like is that these character classes either they're like pure combat, pure magic, or they're magic with some sort of absorption or technicality attributes.
Okay. The power limit,
Because
by the way, for absorption is 1 million life points.
next up we have is the Winged Warriors, the Alorians. Uh,
There's not
twice
much known about
monthly,
them.
opposite the Delata concerts, professional troupe actors called the Live Emotion perform comedies and dramas. However, they do not perform musicals because most Winged Warriors have poor singing voices and even worse rhythm.
I like that.
They
Uh,
love freedom. If denied that freedom, they will fight to the death. They will die if imprisoned for more than 90 days.
they crash out if they can't see the sky.
They have 2/10 damage protection, 50% resistances to magic psionics and earth power, a +5 to their dodge while in flight, flight feathers, enhanced senses. They can have mass mutations, a radar sense, super strength,
Standard
higher
superhero
powered,
arrangements.
wings of fire,
Yeah, you could just have fire wings just because.
teleport, talons, warrior eyes. But those are all the characters. Now on to the
Yeah,
skills.
those are the races, I think, or maybe classes. I don't
S-
know.
Those are the class. So
Oh God.
you
But
must pay one.
before then, from Pagan Pilot, Wereman, as in the Werestorm, as in relating to weird energy. Is that what they're going with
That
Werestorm?
might be what they're going with.
It would be. I'd love to know because they don't. Like, here's the thing: Raven hasn't explained what the Werestorm is, or is it the? I think it. Actually no. I think it's the cosmic destruction power. Like, is that what it is?
It's a werestorm. What don't you get?
Also from Donman, what type of person would know about the Fantastic Four but not Doctor Doom? Uh, that's a good
Somebody who wants
fucking
to piss off.
question.
Somebody who wants to piss off Doctor Doom.
Yeah. It's usually the opposite because Doom is such a threat that he, like, to give you an idea, he's fought basically everyone
And won.
and lost,
He don't
but
give
it's
a shit.
usually just due to his ego. So yeah, skills. How do you get skills? You choose from the skills listed, always checking for prerequisites. Training can be done by anyone who has the skill. Using them, you have to roll less than or equal to, like a percentile. Failing skills. When the chance to accomplish a roll for a skill is failed, that does not mean the attempt fails outright. Many situations are not black and white. Here's how this works. If you fail by less than 15, you get most of what you want done,
Mm.
90%. If you go over that to 25, if you fail by 2 degrees essentially, it's 50% successful.
Again, I can see what he's doing.
I actually don't dislike this.
Yeah, I don't like. I can again. If we're mixing all these sort of older systems, then okay. So your degree is yeah. If you're just a near miss, like it'd be more like
He
like
did
you're
this he
just
did this
nearly there.
because if you play a lot of percentile games, like let's say, oh yeah, I should know this because I'm an archaeologist with a skill at 55% for archaeology or 60% for archaeology, right? And you get like a
Yeah.
65. Well,
It's a
fuck.
failure.
This is his way of saying, no, no, the specifics are missing you, but you're so skilled at this, you're able to pick up most of what you can get. You're just missing some very key fine details that might fuck you later.
Yeah, no, I
I
I
like
really
that.
like that.
That's a good choice. This is a
I'm at
good
now.
rule.
I can see why people haven't implemented that. Is because you constantly have to get reminded of that. But
But
and again,
it's
it's
just
now up to
useful.
fate to decide. A 90% chance of success in concealment could indicate the character will only remain hidden for a limited time.
Well, this is more just based on it's your call as the game master. It's your call, like, because let's say you're just hiding from bandits and they're just going on a sweep. It might just be completely successful, right? They just go by. But let's say they're looking for you because they've been hired to kill you and they know you traveled down that area.
Ooh, and hold on. Sorry, I'm looking here though at some of what else he's saying, but continue on with.
Well, basically, if they don't find you, they might double back, and that would be why you would inevitably fail. Get what I mean?
Ah, yeah. But I like this here. So he previously says that you can increase skill points by paying one gold tier or $100, but you could increase skills without skill points using acquired skill experience. Every time you succeed in using a skill under pressure, you may add one tentative skill point to the chance to accomplish that particular ability. These points are not used up after the adventure is over. Every time you attempt and fail the use of the skill, subtract a point. At the end of the game, while your characters reflect on their experiences, tally up those points. In essence, your character is balancing positive experience with negative experience. They learn something new or develop bad habits um, that either they or their instructors will have to correct. So if you have a low skill but you succeed several times, then you get those bonuses. But because you're at like a low score, every time if you fail often enough, you may not gain any. You can't go to the negatives, but you won't gain any because you're just again picking up bad habits. Like you're doing lock picking, but you're always too quick. You always think you've got it right when you don't.
So in this case, they give it a great example. This is actually one of the times that I think the example really works well. They have an Amazon try to pick the locks of 7 doors. She fails 4 times, which means hypothetically she should lose a tentative skill point, -1. Which from what I understand, it doesn't hit your skill points, like it doesn't lower. It's just a bad habit.
Well,
But what eventually she did succeed on the second try for each of the 4 she failed. So 7 times she succeeded, 4 times she failed. She gained 3% to that skill. I think that's actually a better. I think that's, well, not necessarily a better way. It's not a bad way to kind of take what, because Call of Cthulhu works that way, where what you do is you gain
Yeah.
success if you
Well, that's
successfully use a
just
skill.
if that's just a one time. This is more like an Elder Scrolls system.
Which I actually think handles this a little better. I think it does, however, open the chance for someone cheesing it, but it punishes you because if you fail way too often, you're not getting anything out of it.
And I would honestly say, yeah, if you're cheesing it and you keep losing, you actually decrease your skills.
Especially if you're trying to abuse the system. If you're not, like,
Yeah.
let's say it's just you're desperately trying to, I don't think you should get hit on that.
Then, if you're doing an opposing test, um, if you both succeed, subtract to find the difference between the scores by rolling a d20. By accomplish that, add the difference to that 20 roll.
So
So
basically,
they say chance of detecting is 56, chance of hiding is 50. Both characters successful. They roll a d20. The guy hiding gets a 9. The guy detecting gets a 2. Because the guy detecting chance to accomplish is 6 points higher, he adds that to his total, meaning it's a total of 8. So uh, the guy hiding
has advantage
wins.
because basically the idea is one of them rolled a bit higher by comparison. It so this is a bad example, This is a pretty bad example because it adds a complication that does not overturn the initial result that would have been otherwise. With the D, like you can throw out
Yeah.
the D20. I originally thought the idea was, let's say you succeed by 5 and the other guy succeeds by 3, you win automatically because you have a greater degree of success. I thought that's what they were going with. The D20 just complicates it, and I would cut that
Yeah.
out. I like the idea because this is basically what most percentile systems work, how they work.
hmm Then let's see here. Then they give unskilled attempts, which is your chance to accomplish is 50% the standard percentage, and 10% for disciplines.
So basically, you have to roll 2 percentiles.
Yeah.
You have to
Which gets
roll
its
to succeed first, and then you have to roll again and get under the 50 to actually nail it if it's a standard.
which gets us into the 192 skills you can have in this game. I am not kidding.
So let's go through. There's ambush and archery, balancing, juggling, bartering and basket weaving, begging, blacksmithing, brewing, carpentry, climbing and combat advanced, weapons and combat and dodging and blocking and combat and grappling now. There's handheld weapons, combat and hand-to-hand, and combat and martial arts. There's disarming, there's empty hand, there's throwing. There's weapons and thrown weapons too. Concealment, concealment detect, and cooking and dancing as well.
Was that off the cuff?
I was using the theme of the Animaniacs country theme, but yes,
I know, but
that was
that's
completely
great.
off the cuff.
Yeah, and this gets into that. Yeah, we saw this with riffs, but that sort of old school style of you make everything a fucking skill.
And I don't hate it, but holy shit, is this frustrating for some people.
Accounting.
Yep.
Uh, this is a fantasy setting. Nobody knows how to do accounting.
There's hunting, jumping, math, and moving silently as well. Navigation, land and water, lockpicking and basic, pickpocketing animals, piloting them well, piloting with
Hold
boats,
on.
and reading, running, stewing, sleight of hand, smooth talk, sniping, and survival, wilderness, training, and basic, tailoring, tracking, trapping, weight training, and wood carving. And I ran out of words.
Now, what's interesting is some of these have prerequisites.
Oh,
So, and I do like this at least. So, if you need to know accounting, you need basic math, reading, and writing.
apparently Pagan Pilot wants me to do the poker rap with this shit.
Banking, and in order to do banking, you need all of that and accounting. Begging is a skill.
Yep, you need required skills to do this.
Not for begging, though. No prerequisites. But biology, you need basic math, reading, and writing. I think you need a bit more advanced math, if I remember my high school days.
For what? For banking? Not if you're doing
No,
basic usury.
no, biology.
Let's see, math basic. No, you need advanced for calculations. Oh, don't forget the cinematography skill for your weird Gonzo sci-fi fantasy RPG. I'll try to do a brief poker rap with this. Accounting, acrobatics, acting, aerobics, alchemy, use, ambush, and anthropology. No, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't work. I'm sorry, Pagan Pilot. Yakko reading it works though.
Wait. Computer infiltration. You need to know
Yep.
how to do computer operation, computer programming, cryptography, xenolinguistics, linguistics, lockpicking, basic math, and basic reading and writing.
So here's the thing. That's a lot of skills, which makes this fucking impossible to pick up. But here, think about it like this, right? That makes sense, doesn't it? Because you need to know how to use a computer. You need to know the programming basics because if you're computer infiltrating, you're hacking. Cryptography because it may be protected.
You're hacking.
There might be some form of cipher. Linguistics because you need to know programming code. Xenolinguistics because it's a computer programming language.
It's a dead language mostly.
Well, yeah, remember the Dark Ages made everyone himbos and they forgot this. You're basically working with technology.
Or like combat and martial art weapons. You need handheld weapons.
Spurious.
Yeah, handheld weapons, projectile and throwing weapons in order to learn that.
I think lockpicking is a bit out there, but I understand why because sometimes you have to splice in
Hold on.
connections.
I like this though. There's criminology, and then there's anti-criminology,
Well, yeah, you
which
need.
is the study of predicting the actions of criminologists and foiling their investigation.
I like that.
It's cryogenic technician, of which you don't need computer, you just need botany, biology, chemistry, advanced math, basic math, reading and writing.
Well, think about it. Cryogenics is a load of shit anyway.
Debating.
You just need to know how to read and write. Well, actually, I can tell you, there's a very famous grifter who doesn't know how to read. His name is
Oh
Jeremy.
yes.
He doesn't know how to read, so you don't need to.
I
You don't need
I would have
that.
said I would have said Owen Benjamin, but yeah, that make
I mean, that's also not wrong. You don't have to
yeah,
be able to read to be an awful person and debate.
yep. Demolitions, aquatic demolitions, with which you need to know how to do electronic demolitions and scuba diving.
I
Disposal of demolitions,
Yeah, that would be its own skill. I understand.
detecting traps, detecting spell traps, drafting. This is the skill of creating plans for a physical engineering project.
So this is the beginning stages of architecture, which
Yep.
that's also a skill that we went through. Architecture is up
Chi
here.
engineering,
Astral
artificial
projection, by the way.
intelligence engineering.
I like how basket weaving is a skill.
Yeah. Fishing. None unless the user intends to use a boat, then the skill of piloting boats must be acquired.
Oh god, engineering. I could just. Oh god.
Firefighting, of which you only need medical first aid.
Well, it's mainly for people who are trapped in the buildings. I personally
I
think
mean,
there's a
I,
few
I
more
would have
skills.
I would have said forgery, not no, no, not for, like forestry.
I would replace the requirement for. I would say replace medical with forestry because first aid makes sense. Forestry
Wait,
should
wait,
be the other.
guardsman.
Well, you need to know how
Prerequisites:
to guard.
ambush, dodging and blocking combat, detect concealment, detect traps and secret doors, concealment, disguise, medical, first aid, reading, surveillance, tracking, and writing. The skill combines perimeter surveillance with spotting potentially dangerous situations. Wouldn't that be detecting concealment?
It should be.
With and this is the only way you can learn passwords and patrol
The
procedures.
debating wereman. I have defeated you, Amazon, with facts and logic. Now get your womb ready. We will artificially create our child.
And you better make it a man, or I'm gonna beat the woman out of it.
Jesus
In,
Christ.
yeah, interrogation and interrogation resistance.
Wait, history? The progressive. Okay, so history does not need the prerequisite of reading. Why?
No, no, it does. It
No, no, you don't. You want to know why? Too many people just get it from playing Hearts of Iron 4. You
yeah,
don't
but
need to know how to read.
you kind of do though. How do you know what the numbers mean?
I don't know how is the quartering able to play Magic the Gathering? I think he just looked at the symbols and just it was like, oh, that's how that works. Green bubble mean good.
I mean, have we ever actually seen him play Magic the Gathering? He might have just collected the cards.
No, he did. He did play. He played so poorly that he only showed up to a couple of tournaments and then fucked off. He was really fucking terrible at Magic to the point where he was at the bottom performing.
You know, DSP is even better at tournament play than he is. DSP at least got fourth once.
Admittedly, it's because he was a specialist at that version of the game.
That's fine.
Interrogation resistance, which is different from interrogation, by the way. So
Yeah, some of that stuff.
this is running
I
into
would have.
this is
Yeah,
running
I
into
would have.
something that I find that's one of the biggest problems with skills. I love elaborate skill trees, but this is one of the biggest problems.
Like some
How
of
do
this
you
stuff,
balance this shit?
like y- you don't need to put lockpicking and advanced lockpicking into like separate things. You can just
You say
combine that
that,
all
but
in.
I can actually understand the logic. So simple lock picking would be basic mechanical locks. Like we're talking 6 lock systems. Advanced lock picking would be for elaborate stuff.
Well, no. What I would simply do is this: is so if this guy has only like a middling skill in lockpicking, then you get some debuffs when you're doing advanced lockpicking, or like for an advanced lock.
Oh,
But if you're high
I
enough,
get what you
you don't
mean.
get the debuff.
I get what you mean, which is proficiency, where basically if you don't have this skill level, you have a penalty on your dice result.
Exactly.
That would
Or
be
stuff
easier. That would definitely be an improvement. But
or
I
like
don't
the
hate this.
like linguistics, xenolinguistics, just combine that all in together and make
Yeah.
that like a separate, like a specialty. Lip reading, don't need it. Jumping, don't need it. That's just your agility.
Well, no, think about it like this. He's using jump in the same way that Elder Scrolls did, which in Oblivion means you could jump like 50 feet in the air when you max it out.
Massaging.
Well, you
This
need to know
skill
how.
teaches massage techniques in the locations of vital nerve points. There is a 50% chance that a successful attempt will put someone to sleep.
Oh, please tell me there's also like a bone setting and chiropractic one. I want to see. We went through several skills, so I might have missed it.
Motion picture directing.
Oh yeah, because you have cinematography, which is part of that, by
Wait,
the
wait, wait,
way.
wait. Why would you need cinematography as a prerequisite for directing a motion picture?
Because you need to
J.J.
know how to
Abrams
frame shots.
J.J. Abrams was a director, and he doesn't know how to make a fucking movie.
No, cinematography is the art of like stacking shots and making it the basics. Like it allows you to frame things.
Yeah, exactly. Have you seen any of his Star Wars films?
I was gonna actually say, have you seen any of Zack Snyder's horrible fucking films, particularly the most recent ones, which were Rebel Moon?
Grain.
No, no. Remember all the horrible frames that were in the fucking first one?
Y-
Like,
Yeah.
no, there's a lot of terrible. Like he forgot his own camera work.
Or I mean Neil Breen. Neil Breen doesn't know cinematography.
I mean, you can make a movie, you just don't know how to use the camera, I guess.
Yeah. We got the nerve
Metaphysics is a
pinch.
skill.
Meta is able to interact with the physical world and the effects of the powers. They
Yep.
also know how to predict the effects of the powers and understand why they work.
Also, you
But
like
that's
how
different from
physics, quantum.
that's that's different from quantum physics, which is about matter and radiation, which is not quantum, that's subatomic physics.
Yeah, that's. It's weird that he included that when it should. Why is there no new? Okay, if you're gonna make a bunch of skills, Raven, why didn't you make a physics nuclear? It's a good idea that you didn't do this. It is. It's a really good idea that you
Also,
did not do
pi-
this.
piloting, anti-grav, animals, hang gliders,
Yeah.
helicopters,
By the way,
motor
you
vehicles,
like the time to learn?
motorcycles, power armor. One day. This motherfucker's playing Fallout.
Yeah. Remember when you were able to use those
It takes a
abilities?
week. Wait, no. It takes a week to learn how to pilot a submarine?
Well, I mean, if you want to know the basics, yeah. Chance to accomplish 100% plus 1% per extra skill point may exceed 100%.
Okay, I can
The
get
number
this.
space, and what do they
Well,
mean?
well, well, because the other thing also is the skill points is 4 to learn it. And it does make a bit of sense of like, okay, if you know how to pilot something, you know how to operate it under normal conditions. Under hostile or challenging
Or doing
conditions,
extraordinary stunts.
then that's where the modifiers can come in.
Also, I'm going to have a bit of a disagreement with Jimmy on this. Neil Breen balances that by making amazing movies. I think he peaked years ago with his films, and honestly, they're very repetitive and samey. It's basically
Re
he's the same messianic figure because of his ego over and over again.
Okay, well, we need to get into one of the more interesting things. Runecraft. On the next page,
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them. Oh yeah, I
I want
forgot
to
that
know
the runes are in Hebrew.
why, in the name of Hashem, is that Hebrew? Now, for those of you who don't know how to read Hebrew, and as a Jew, I unfortunately count myself as one of them, but I do remember a bit from my years
It's right.
in Hebrew
It's right to
school.
left, isn't it?
It's right to left. However, you see all the little like things at the bottom, like the three dots on the side or
Yeah,
the
I see the
plus sign.
dots.
Those are vowels. If you're reading Hebrew in Israel or in a Torah, those aren't there. Good luck. So
Well, no. If you're wondering, the Hebrew script, along with the Arabic script as well, and several other scripts, they're what you call abjads. Abjads, if you're wondering, are consonant-based writing systems where they usually have denotations or marks that indicate the vowel they expect you to use. I don't know what any of these symbols mean, but basically, in this case, right to left, and if you see a dot, that
sorry.
indicates and hints what type of vowel you're supposed to use.
The other thing is some of these letters are silent.
Yes.
Like you see that Y sound? That's a silent letter. I think
The
that
one for
plus
temperature?
thing on the yeah, I think that makes it an ah sound like yeah, or like the
I'm just now envisioning like a weather wizard just screaming, "Ah!" And it just allows him to
like
detect
for
temperature.
health. That's I believe a sada. That's a ha. Oh, sada. Like sadak is like charity. So probably it's like sada. Because
It
that other letter at the end there, the one that looks like an X, that's an aleph. That's a silent letter.
might have been an attempt to make salud
Well, salud.
to your health.
That's probably where it comes from.
To your health.
Yeah. It
So Donman and,
and
and Angel are both confused on why they chose to use Hebrew symbols for this rather than something like Firthark. And my answer is, you're orbiting a planet known as Shalom. What were you expecting?
yeah, like here's the other thing. You see sharpness there? That's not a Hebrew letter.
It just kind of looks like one.
I don't know what that's supposed to be.
It might actually be. It might actually be like another dialect of Semitic languages.
Also, pagan. No, not Kabbalah. If it was Kabbalah, we'd see the Sephirot.
I think they might actually be in here somewhere, but not in this section.
But or it's like telekinesis. That little like looks like a math symbol. Almost. That's not a Hebrew letter.
Angel's now going, why isn't this just Jewish mysticism instead? What? What? You don't like objects? What are you, anti-Semitic or something? Why are you? Why do you want it to be Norse runes? Why can't it be Ogam or in this case Hebrew lettering?
I mean, I will be honest here. I think most people reading this at first would know what this is and would look at it as like, oh, that's fantasy magic runes.
I mean, oh, I know what he did. It's even funnier. It's even funnier. Do you want to know what he did?
What?
I recognize a couple of these symbols. He combined Hebrew with Tengwar. He combined Hebrew with Elvish script. This is a combination of Elvish script and Hebrew.
Mazel tov. Finally, we aren't considered the dwarves. We're considered the elves. What about?
And the only reason I know that is because some of the symbols on the Straith one very much look like Tangwar. Also in a couple of cases, I think that might be Sanskrit. A couple of cases.
It could I'm like I've never seen this kind of thing of like being in a circle and having the letters separate. I don't know
Well,
what he's
I don't.
doing.
Well, if he's using a bit of Sanskrit, that's because he's using the chakram wheels where you spin them around to indicate different meanings.
That could be it as well.
I actually do like his choice on his language script. It's insane enough. There's a lot you can play with in terms of world building, because think about it. You can
I
you can
need
mess up.
yeah.
Think about it. You can use your Hebrew lessons and then throw in a little bit of Elvish script, a little bit of Sanskrit, just kind of make your own runic arrays that way. I actually
Yeah.
I actually like the choice that they didn't use Firthark, to be honest.
Yeah. It makes it
It
makes it
adds
unique.
it
Like
adds uniqueness to it.
I do like this though for luck. So that's a +5 to the shot roll. the Terra Baseball League has these runes carved on their bats. So they don't have them corked, they have them runed.
That's what I was thinking of Pagan Pilot. It's the feng shui wheel. So we got Hebrew script base, Tangwar for embellishments, aligned with the feng shui concept of Chinese mysticism. Which,
You
if
know,
you think about it, this is thousands upon thousands of years after Earth went on an exodus. And thousands upon
that
thousands of years of survivors intermingling. There's actually logic
yeah,
to this. I like this a lot.
I, I like it. I like also with the warding. You can use it as to keep people you don't like from your home.
I wish you had a couple
So
more
anyone
examples.
of gray, red, and scarlet auras from entering your property.
Oh man,
Um,
this leads to, because of all the really cool things, this does lead to the problem of you have too many skills. You
yeah.
get what I mean, where you have too many abilities.
Spellology. This is otherwise known as caving or spelunking.
Oh, wait, spellology is the caving and spelunking ability.
S- yeah, or speleology.
Where are you?
I'm.
Are you still in runes?
It's no. It's the next page.
Ah, the hobbies. Yeah, so on top of skills, you have what are called hobbies. All characters should have at least one hobby, and many of them require specific skills. And here's all of the
Let's.
hobbies. So you have skills and hobbies.
Oh yeah.
One of the hobbies you can pick up is video games.
Hmm. Unfortunately, there's no tabletop games.
That would be actually really
Come
funny.
on, Raven. Oh no, they do. Role playing, live or
There you go.
tabletop.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you can actually go full recursive by having, after a successful adventure, you guys unwind by taking out a table at the bar to play your own version of Mazes and Monsters in a Cinnabar game.
And then your characters play it's a recursive.
It could go even deeper because then those characters start playing it until you go into infinite recursive.
Start playing the Inquisitor focused game of um umbral apostasy. Then going into Capa Verde.
Yeah, it just goes infinite down. It's all tabletop all the way down. As for some various, and then there's various race examples. By the way, this is still chapter 1. We have to
Though I
keep
will
going.
say, unfortunately, with all of these races, they don't tell us what they look like or what they are.
Well, think about it. Mutant ape.
Yeah, that's fine. Flyman. What's an Earth lot?
We still don't know what a boglodite is. I know they're called biogladites, but boglodite's funnier.
We got the tree demons, which
There's the
have
cat.
mutation eye
I
beams.
think I know what a Qatar is, and I hope it's not what I think. A demon cave. Demon cave. What the fuck?
Jimmy, great. Now I have the idea of taking a fantasy setting and introducing the Jewish faith to it.
I've done that before, actually, a couple of times. In fact, actually, in one of my earlier settings for a 19th century take on Dungeons and Dragons, I kind of played with the idea that the 10 lost tribes managed to make their way. I took Mormon legends and basically had it so that the 10 lost tribes of Israel did cross the Pacific and make it to the Americas, where they settled in what became Utah. So you so you had Native American Jews, but then you also had the sort of equivalent of Christianity among some of the tribes, where basically they took some of the elements from it and their
No,
horses.
I want Comanche Indians doing raids while wearing talit. Oy vey!
It wouldn't be Comanche, they'd be Paiute. They yeah, you're joking, but no, that is what happened in that setting. Also,
Oh,
some of the tribes made it down into the Underdark, so you had a seafaring culture of troglodytic Jewish people that had their own that had a few extra books in their take on the Torah
we may
because of
not
their
see
stories.
this. Listen, we may not see the sun, but we keep to the Sabbath.
They also for a while thought they were stuck in Sheol.
Oh, that's got to be horrifying.
They thought they were, but they found out they weren't, thankfully.
I like that there's an armored mantis, talking raccoon.
Well, the talking raccoon, because you notice the influence he had from comic books. I get the feeling Raven actually read the Guardians of the Galaxy.
This come out at the time?
Well,
Oh,
Rocket Raccoon was a character. I don't think he was a member of the Guardians at that time, though. And then we get to Rising in Levels, and it's okay. That is chapter 2. It has been a little bit over 2 hours. I don't think we're gonna be able to get beyond that.
no, no, we're not. I think though, looking at what else we have here, I mean, we've got rising levels, provision, substance, starship creation, reactions and hirelings, lands, spells. I mean,
True.
I don't know if we should go point by point.
We
I
might be
think we
able
have a
to
good
skip a good
gist.
chunk of that.
I'm thinking next week. I don't know if we want to go into the lands and worlds or hit it all the way to like the creatures tables.
I actually kind of like the world building he's going with, so I wouldn't mind doing lands and worlds. We could do creatures first because some of the things that are variant races are creatures
Mm,
and you would only understand.
maybe a brief dive into provisions, but I think yeah we'll hit more of the lore building because I gotta say, I think out of
There's a
this the
couple
op
of there's a couple of
this is
dull
this is
spots,
the
like the elves are a
yeah
bit dull, but as a whole, it's pretty good. I like where it's going.
this is the opposite.
This is. I'm sorry.
So I say this is the opposite to what we had in the beginning of the year.
You're not
Remember
wrong.
where we
You're not wrong. This is definitely different from what we had originally.
previously we had Degenesis, which I think
Admittedly,
we both started off really not we really either liking or just well for me like or and later realizing yeah there's some problems with this, but now I think
I
we
entered that one kind of hating it just
yeah,
because you lose me when you have it in multiple books. And technically, I should probably get on this because third edition World of Cinnabar does the same thing. In fairness,
but
Genesis doing 2 books isn't bad as a concept. The problem is they just used their space so fucking badly.
and admittedly kind of also with this book too where it's everything's just smushed in, but at the same
No,
time
I think they're using their space badly, but this is just out of desperation. Like, because if they spaced it out better, this thing would be larger. This thing would be a bigger book than Mage 20th.
yeah, oh yeah,
It would be at
but
least 700 pages.
at the same time though looking through this and despite all the confusing stuff with mechanics and the different complexities with it, Raven McCracken is making a gonzo ass setting.
But
E-
he's not playing it up. He's just kind of like it is how it is in this.
Every one of the societies, every one of the characters are unique
They're not
and
only
awesome
unique,
in
but
their
they're
own
broken as
ways.
shit. They're all broken as shit in their own ways. Which there's probably a meta, like there's almost certainly a meta in terms of just like what's the most optimal build? Which unfortunate, but hey, at least everyone has a chance to be really broken. Think about it. You could be a dwarf that lifts just arbitrarily like 4 tons.
At the same time, I don't think they had that many resistances to magic.
They don't. You could be a Drake, which has some nice little power abilities, and they do have damage reduction, but their abilities aren't that insane, other than just being able to casually have a breath and tail attack. The Weremen are pretty interesting. They have the absorption ability, so that our ugly bastard man would have the ability to absorb certain types of energy without taking damage. The archers, the archers I was originally a bit on, but I like how insane they got, and each of them have their own kind of civil order. Like the archers, we didn't really cover all of them, but like I mentioned, the archers, they gamble. They're a society of museum curators and archaeologists as well. And their entire thing is to defend the archaeology and legacy of ancient civilizations they come across. And also just
So
it's a
yes,
setting that has straight up morality. Like it has a strong good versus evil dynamic too.
yeah. So next week we'll hit more into the batshit fucking lore because I'm looking back at the lands. So we get the center of the world, their oceans, the geography, but then we get the solar system, planes of existence,
Yeah, and the
creating
other
random
99
dimensions,
dimensions.
star creation.
Yes, they have a star creation table. And that is definitely going to
You
be
want to
something
you
we
want to
cover.
create a brown dwarf?
You can.
Go right ahead.
Mechanically, that's a thing in this because here's the thing: it's not purely fantasy. It's supposed to have sci-fi elements too. Like I said,
So
I'm really enjoying this.
I recommend people making their own look, making your own characters.
Give it a
Oh,
try. They have
we
the
forgot
rules are
to.
for free.
I realized this. We forgot to name what this guy is. So remember, this is a wereman
Yes,
who is ugly,
short, fat,
is short, fat, with a violet morality, so he's completely neutral. He's got intelligence 4, so he's an idiot. He's got red eyes, but he's also pretty strong and pretty agile. So I'd like to see in the comments what should the name of the character be.
and the funniest or most fitting one will declare at the end at the beginning of the next stream.
All right.
So
Well,
that in
good
mind,
night, everyone.
have a good night. And keep in mind that in the description, you can get access to the rules for Cinnabar 3rd Edition, which is free. And also, we have a Discord. Feel free to click the link if you want to.